Just to Rubies conversational podcast on life in recovery and so much more.
A little bit more.
I'm Vicky.
I'm John.
We are so glad that you're here with us.
One of us is coming.
I have the joy of the Lord this morning.
The joy of the Lord is upon us. I feel like we're 100 meter sprinters in the Olympics. And I come out of the box and I always win. And today you're like,
I won.
No, I'm going to win. I'm going to win this one. Look at your hair.
I was looking. I wish there's a bigger screen below the little screen.
Yeah.
And I wish neither of them were there.
And you're looking like.
Because it's really hard. The big scrring.
Do you think the older you get, the better your hair's getting?
That is what I have been told by my hairstylist.
But
who is my friend from high school.
I wouldn't take her word for it.
And I feel like she could be like nice. A little bit nice.
Yeah, I don't.
However,
she would never give a critique.
However, a lot of people compliment me on my hair, so I'm just gonna receive it.
What's the best your hair has ever been?
This is the best
my
hair has ever been.
I remember the high school days when was it orange?
Oh, that was not a good
moment. No, those were. I have pictures.
It was supposed to be red.
No, but it was good. That was good hair. That was like,
okay. You don't talk to me in that teenage lustful voice, okay? It's weird.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant you look like weird. What's her name?
Everybody feels awkward.
Spider-Man's girlfriend.
I'm sorry.
Jane. No, what's her name? Mary Jane. You had Mary Jane hair. And then you had short hair. You don't like the short hair?
Well, I had the short hair once. Do you remember when I cut my hair?
Yeah.
How old was I? Like, don't do this, ladies.
No, it wasn't even that long ago.
I know. I was turning 40 and chopped my hair off.
You had a
Why
bob.
do we do that? Don't do that.
You were going through a moment.
It.
No, I think it was nice. But
but you just shouldn't be like, oh, I'm turning 40.
This is the pinnacle of your
should chop off my hair. Like maybe wait till you're like 42 or something like that.
I think guys go downhill with hair. Like, and it goes like this into your ears, nose, back. It's horrible. But yeah, keep up the good work.
I think that you're very handsome with your gray hair.
I hope it doesn't cause too much pride today of your
my hair.
Yeah, your.
Do you feel like I have a lot of pride?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I think you have caffeine, but
I have a lot of caffeine. No, I had one coffee.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Hey, I just want to thank my friend that gave me ribs. There are not many people that there are people that are gift givers, and I enjoy them because I enjoy gifts. Like, I don't know what my love language is, but I think it's gifts. It's in that arena anyway.
I'm surprised that you're confused about that. But anyway, keep going. He's a gift guy.
No, but yeah, probably.
Keep going.
And people give you stuff, and I think it's cool. And I try to give people stuff.
You do.
But
you
simple
love to
stuff.
Give gifts.
But the gift of meat is by far you can't exceed the value of meat. Like, I get the early days when it was like trading for beans and there was no real currency. It was meat. Meat was like gold bars.
You remember when we were on vacation and we were at a restaurant and you're like, oh, get the ribs. And I was like, no. Why would I get the ribs?
I know. I wrecked it for you.
Ever since you started smoking ribs, I ordered ribs once at a restaurant and I was so disappointed.
It's disappointing. Yeah, once you've had
So
I can do that well.
I'm grateful.
And I remember my boy Josh, and he was like, I think more of something that somebody likes is a good thing. So like, how many golf balls could you get somebody? How many fishing lures could you get me before I'm like you came home with a fishing rod once and you said, I think you already have a couple. And I'm like, oh, sick. Another picture. It's like that idea. Like, how much jewelry can you get that you're like, I don't
take whatever you give me.
I think meat's the same way. But like, when somebody likes something, you just give more of it. And so Josh, my friend Josh, he argued me on this point because there was kombucha involved. And I just said, no, give them extra kombucha. And he's like, no, but they already got a ton of it. I'm like, yeah, just give them 2 extra bottles. People love that. And he's like, that's the dumbest thing, but I'll do it anyway. And the people like gave this note back of like, oh, I can't even believe that you put 2 extra bottles in. This is the best day of my life.
And that's why you have how many whisks in the kitchen, even though you
I
never
like
cook?
whisks.
All right.
It's weird.
And
I'm not weird though. I'm not weird, but sometimes I am, and I can admit it. Like whisks, I don't know what about whisks, but
you don't have time to talk about the whisk
there's
issue,
different
but
styles, and
no, there's not.
and they
They're
make
all
a
the
lot
same.
of different
They're
whisks.
just anyway. We don't have time to talk about the whisk issue.
It's not like
We have a
spatula.
reading
There's
to do.
like one spatula, but
Wise.
whisks. Okay, go.
Who's on coffee? Wise words. Here we go. We're going to read
Wise words.
Wise words from an AA who counsels with families of alcoholics. Yes, the alcoholic can be forced to get sober. The spouse. But I've tried everything. He won't listen to reason. I've yelled and complained, paid the bills, threatened to leave. Nothing works. Of course not. This is you applying the force, and that never works. I suggest you stop taking action. The only force that can change the alcoholic's pattern is the pressure that builds up inside them when the family refuses to react any longer. When they can't count on you helping them. When you won't assuage their guilt by fighting with them. And when you refuse to get them out of trouble. Then they'll be compelled to face up to things. In other words, try inaction instead of constantly figuring out something to do about them. Today's reminder. It is not easy to restrain ourselves from reacting to what others do that seems to affect us. A healthy detachment brings about the very changes we were powerless to make by continually fighting the problem. God helps those who don't try to take over his work.
I think my mind is on point today because I'm like, that's what detachment is. And then you read detachment. And it's that concept. If I'm doing God's job, he's going to let me do, like, he's not forceful. And he goes, you're applying your force. And so
there's no room for me here.
Yeah. If you're being defensive, God's not going to defend you. You're being your own defender. I love how the restrain. That's not easy on a good day. On being restrained, even with your mouth.
Absolutely
even with
not.
my mouth, like you just want to have a last comment, and
we're very restrained,
a little
people.
bit offended, that kind of thing. So in this way, if I get out of the way and detach and go, God has a better way than I will ever have, because my path, my track record has shown this doesn't work, and it actually gives the alcoholic fuel. So our goal is to get everybody into a position to be recovered. Yeah. And so we do that by actually getting out of the way. I heard this once, is like, stop wrecking people's first step experiences. And if you know what that means, put it in the comments.
Well, and I think, oh, okay.
No, go ahead. Okay, now go ahead.
Well, I was just remembering, like, there was just so many times where the way that I reacted made it so that you could be mad at me instead of like being, you're the moron, you're the schmuck that did all this whatever. And now, but instead, because when you came home, whatever explosion, me being so angry or the way that I reacted, now you could be mad at me.
Yeah.
Or I look like the
And here's the unfortunate spot, because I've been arrested on numerous occasions, and been in jail. I've had freedom taken away. I've had cars taken away. I've had license taken away.
Did this happen in the 2000s or prior to
2000s?
No.
And the 90s.
In the 90s.
Early 2000s, mid 2000s
really?
to 2005.
2005?
No, 2000 probably. I don't know. In the 90s. Okay. And so I've done all the things and went to anger management, and court mandated all all the things.
I did all the things too. I hid your keys. I poured out the alcohol.
Oh my goodness, you did it.
Changed the bank account passwords. I remember cell phones were new, and I paid all the bills. So I called the cell phone company. You had like a flip phone, and I got a detailed cell phone bill. And I called those numbers.
All those numbers. All the all my crackhead friends. And they're like, "Who's this?
And why? What was the point of that?"
Yeah, and it's like, the unfortunate thing is that I can't get help if I'm not convinced, and I don't have any reservations, and I haven't conceded to my problem. And my problem isn't drugs and alcohol. The thing to get help with, like how I get help, is that it actually stops working, and I realize that I'm not in control. And that's a hard place to get to, And not everybody has to get to that place, but that's typically when we get help, because I can't live and I can't die.
Yeah.
And the thing that's giving me life and validation is actually not working on for me anymore. So very hard stuff to be in. Very hard to be the partner of an active addict and get out of the way and detach and love and let God do what God can do, and use his force and not your force, because you're just it's gonna drain you. So our prayer today,
I feel like I just want to add one little caveat, even though I know it's going to take us over time.
caveat.
I do caution against giving advice, and this feels very much like advice. And I just want to be clear that there's like nothing in here that's saying, oh, you have to leave them, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. Like, it's actually really important that the person for themselves kind of like talks to God and gets some intuition and maybe professional advice, and makes their own decisions around what they need to do and how they need to handle it. Like, this is saying, like, stop doing things, you know, like there's certain things that maybe aren't beneficial to keep doing. But it's just, we
And
we don't
if
like
you
to
can't
give
do them,
advice.
God will turn your mistakes into his glory. Like, he'll use everything for his good to guide and instruct and get the person where they need to go. And yeah, let's end with that. Our prayer is that God leads, God guides, and he brings peace into the situation. We know that we are out of the way when we are living by spiritual principles and practices that solve all of our problems, because that's the God that we have. He will solve all of our problems. And the problem's never on the outside, it's always on the inside. So may he bring a river and a fountain of peace in the storm.
Thank you for being here with us, and have a great day.